What's up, everybody? Tim back here at Higgs Garage, and it's a hot one out today. So we got a bunch of stuff to do. We need to grab this Coyote engine, the remaining parts that we have that need to be installed on it once we get the rest of the stuff in, and the stuff that we're not using anymore. We need to get all that stuff loaded up. We're going to use this little trailer here, and we're going to take that over to my mom and dad's tomorrow for the 4th. That way we have the engine, the frame, and the body and everything, transmission, all that stuff, all in one place, so we can get this thing hopefully finished up. We did see, looking over it off camera, a bunch of little bolts that are missing. Like I said, this engine, when we bought it, they had plans for it, and then I guess they went a different route, so they had taken stuff apart to paint stuff or whatever. So anyways, little miscellaneous things like that we need to go ahead and get picked up from the dealer and get all of that stuff buttoned up here with the other proper parts, alternator, whatever. We got all that stuff coming. Anyways, we need to get that stuff over to the Bronco so we can get it all mated up, transmission, transfer case, dropped into the frame, and then we can get that body settled so we can start finishing up some other stuff. I know that he's got new seats, I believe, coming. We were going to go ahead and use the original seats and reupholster with the original houndstooth cloth, but he's found some other seats that he likes better, so he's going to go ahead and swap those out, and we'll probably just sell those other seats that we were going to recover. I think he's actually got 1 or 2 of them already done, but we'll go ahead and get rid of those. We also have a body that was originally on there. It's not in bad shape. I think we have a couple shorts out of it when it was sitting in the shed, or in the shop, excuse me, over there. So we're going to get that thing up for sale, as far as I know, unless he has changed his mind and has some other plans with it. So got a bunch of that stuff going on with the Bronco. The other stuff we need to do, the shop is a disaster. It's just got so many projects going on in it all the time, and it's getting hard to work in here. So the goal today, get this engine, all those parts loaded up in this little trailer, and then we got a bunch of scrap metal and stuff like that we need to get loaded onto another trailer, try to organize and clean up this shop, and possibly we turned the John Deere. We took the deck off, and now it's kind of just like the little workhorse out here until the other tractors are finished up. So we need to get the pump on the hydraulic pump here yanked off here, see what parts we need to order for that. I don't know if we'll make it to that today, one thing at a time. And first things first is getting this engine loaded up. So let's go ahead. I'll show you guys the little trailers. Just got we store mini bikes in there because it's covered. So we're gonna pop those out, back that trailer in here, and see the best way we're gonna get this engine inside there. It's a little bit heavy, a lot bit heavy. So, especially with no tractor to lift it with. So probably have to use the engine hoist. All right, let's go. All right, guys, so we got that unloaded pretty quick. I was gonna show you guys, this thing's pretty awesome. So this trailer is just an all aluminum trailer. It's really light, so I can hook it on the lawnmower or whatever. We actually brought this home from Germany when we were stationed in Germany, and man, it's been a great little trailer. I mean, we can drive it on the road. We can take this top off. It just slides in and out so that we can have an open bed. So if we want to put dirt or rock or gravel or whatever and do yard work with it, we can. It's super universal. But my dad and I went ahead and made these. So between a Harbor Freight, picked up these little motorcycle stands, and they fold against the back tire, if I can reach it. So when you roll it on, it automatically folds and kind of locks the tire in place. And we bolted it to this plywood so I can just pull this plywood out, and then I can use the trailer for something else. But while using it for the mini bikes, it's super awesome. You just pick it up, you just roll it straight in, and they're just locked in place. I don't even worry about strapping them or anything. They stay extremely tight in there. And I know some people might cry about saying that, about not strapping them, whatever, but they're not going anywhere. They haven't gone anywhere, and it works out perfect. And then we can just store them in there because it's covered. So it's pretty awesome. Just wanted to give you guys a little view of it before I went ahead and yanked this thing out so we get this motor in. And guys, look at that, check it out. Go on the other side. We got that thing on there. All of that finagling and trying to lift was a pain, but we got it on here. We got it strapped down. She's not going anywhere. And I can't wait to get this thing over and dropped in that frame. So that's gonna be absolutely awesome. For right now though, we're gonna go ahead, button this up, put the top back on here. We have a couple miscellaneous parts that went with this engine. Bring everything to my dad's. That way we have all the engine parts there with the engine, the transmission, transfer case, frame, body, all this stuff for the Broncos in one spot, so we can start buttoning this thing up and maybe making it into one solid piece, one vehicle again. So awesome, awesome. This was sketch, super sketchy. Don't ever buy, if in my opinion, this little engine stand with only 3 legs on it. That thing is so dangerous. That engine actually has fallen once, and that's why the valve cover needed to be replaced. Thank God that's all it damaged. But that engine stand will be going in the scrap pile when this is done. And you have a tractor for one day and it's down, and you realize how much harder stuff is to do. So yeah, we lifted it up with this engine hoist, which was kind of sketchy too. So I really wish we would have had the tractor and the forks so that we could have did that, but it's all good. So we got more pieces here. These are the parts that we're not actually gonna use. We're gonna actually probably resell these, but all that stuff's gonna be packed up inside the cab of the truck, throw our top on, and moving on to the next thing. Long story short, we need to upgrade our air compressor. The problem is we don't have 220 out here in the shop, so putting it in is a pretty big deal because it's fed off the house. So we have to transfer all the wire from the house, possibly upgrade the box in the house and the one out here. It's gonna be a big job, and I'm for it, but the problem is my wife, she's still active duty in the service, and we may have to move. We may have to move in a year, maybe a couple of years. We're not really sure yet. She's working on a couple things for her career path that may keep us here a little longer, or if not, then we will, like I said, it'll be about a year before we're gonna be moving out of here. We haven't decided on what we're gonna do with the house, if we're gonna sell it, keep it, or what yet, but I don't wanna plumb all of that, the lines and stuff in here with all new wiring and upgrade the shop that much just to leave it. It doesn't make a lot of sense financially to do that because it's gonna be a big job. So for now, we need to be able to sandblast and paint. So for now, what we're gonna do is, I have this dryer. I thought the filter was, or the drain was, not the filter, the drain was leaking and may need to be replaced. I don't know yet, I can't remember, it's been a while since I fired it up. So what I'm gonna do is use this little compressor. We're gonna plumb everything to try to get some dry air. That way we can paint and sandblast and stuff without having a lot of moisture in it. So we're just gonna use this as a demonstration right now, and I think I'm gonna run a Harbor Freight and just get the biggest compressor that they have there. My brother has a similar model from there, and it's worked great for years, the last few years that we've been home. And when I say home, from when we moved back, we were stationed in Germany, so you know, we didn't have any, I didn't have any large tools like that, so I had used his. So I want to test this dryer out with some air pressure behind it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to rig this one up just to run the pressure, just to see how it works. We know we're good. We're gonna go grab that compressor from Harbor Freight, and then it will take its place, and we'll just use this one for small stuff. Probably honestly leave it in the garage, I don't really know. It's a really good compressor. It's really quiet, but it's obviously not for like a shop environment. So get that out of the way, give us a little more space, and give us one good compressor that can fit our needs, at least better than this one. I would really ideally need like a 2-stage, 80-gallon tank, like a big compressor, but we gotta make do right now until we figure out what's going on. So I just decided to try to keep the air as dry as possible without running a bunch of pipes yet. I do have already all the pipes and I had started doing that, but I paused. I have a dryer already mounted, so I'm gonna plumb the compressor in, so the air coming straight out of here is gonna go through the little silicone dryer just from Harbor Freight before it hits the actual dryer, and then it's gonna hit this dryer, and when it comes out, we'll dry it hit one more. Maybe overkill, may not work, I don't know. But I just want to try to make sure that the air is clean as possible so we can paint and have good quality paint jobs. So this is already connected to our dryer. The little air dryer here is connected to the refrigerated dryer right up here. So next thing is I'm going to put a quick disconnect on here so we can just plug this straight in. And then I'm going to, on the out, I'm just going to mount this one up higher, up here. And then we'll come out and then branch over and we'll put a reel right there. So that explains that. Let me go ahead and fast forward you guys so you guys can see what's going on. It's gonna be kind of boring. I'm just putting fittings and stuff in here and mounting this stuff up. And once I fire this baby up with some air pressure behind it, we'll go ahead and see what it does. So I'm gonna speed you guys up. So we have everything sort of plumbed up the way it needs to be. We got a quick disconnect here. This is gonna be our air in. So we'll hook the air compressor straight into this, air to the air compressor. It's gonna run in, and this is kind of long, but that's what I had. And then it runs up into the refrigerated dryer, and then it comes out of the dryer into this other dryer, air to oil or air separator, air and water separator, whatever they're called. So we have that, and then it's gonna come from there. We'll hook it to that hose reel right here, but I need some more fittings. But for now, I can plug this quick connect directly in here. Let's see. A little more slack. Moment of truth, I guess. Not good. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, no, we're good, I think. Maybe not. I'm gonna go ahead and unhook that. Let me hook the line here. Okay, I'm gonna lift that. Sit for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and hook our quick disconnect up to this, because this is what we'll plug. If I have one, I thought I had one. I won't be doing that. Okay, so anyways, this line here is what's gonna run from the last filter to our air line here. So, make a list, make sure we get the fittings for that. So here's this drain right here. And this is what I think is definitely bad, but we're gonna find out in a second. So, now we have air. And the air is gonna come out of this right away. Nothing I can do about it right now. So, this is an issue. This drain is. All right, so we're back here at the garage. It's late. We went ahead and got a couple good things actually. So we got this compressor here from Harbor Freight. So one I would plan on getting. My brother has a similar model and it's worked really good for us. I also got, this is new tank. It was damaged, it had a bad engine on it, but the tank's new. So what we're gonna do to try to solve our problem with air shortage or whatever, the pump or the compressor not being able to keep up, we're gonna connect this as an auxiliary tank. So this is a 60-gallon tank, and then we also, like I said, we have our dryer. So we're gonna have the 29-gallon compressor tank with the 60-gallon. Then we have the dryer, and then one before and then one after the dryer. Those smaller Harbor Freight ones. Hopefully this works. Hopefully it's not, you know, gonna be not enough air, but I think it should do all right. Hopefully it'll solve our problem. Hopefully we'll be able to get some painting done, some sandblasting done, and this is gonna make for a lot easier work here in the garage. I have needed this compressor, or a compressor, for a long time that has been this size. I really need one bigger, but this I think is gonna be a huge upgrade. So, with that being said, let's go ahead, crack this box open, get this this compressor out, put together. And I don't actually, because I actually got this after I already left the store. So I don't think I have enough fittings to connect the two tonight. But let's get this one hooked up and plumbed and everything good to go. And then the only other thing we're gonna have to do, I'm gonna put, my idea is anyways, tentatively, a pressure gauge on this guy here. And then we'll route our air in from the other compressor and then out on the side here. Go through the dryer and then up into our reel. So, got a little bit of work to do. Probably won't be done tonight, but let's get at it and see what we can get done. Here we are. Got the 29-gallon tank compressor from Harbor Freight. It's the McGraw. Biggest, I believe, in terms of tank and CFM. I know that they have some of the higher PSI, but the CFM, I think this is the highest one they had. So I went with this one. That, and like I said before, my brother has it, similar model, and it works really good. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up and see what we got. Okay, so that sucks. Our cage is all dented up. So the decision that I'm gonna make is I'm gonna pry it apart just to get it the best I can. And then I'll get a hold of Harbor Freight after the holidays and see that if I can just get a new cage, if everything else is all right and the pump's nothing's cracked. The reason being is I'd like to get this set up because I'm gonna kind of need to use it, and it's heavy and I don't feel like taking it back. We did get the extended warranty on it, so obviously that's always a good thing to get with Harbor Freight stuff for stuff like this. Even though I think they'd probably be pretty good about returning it, but let me go ahead and we're gonna get the wheels on it and stuff like that. We're gonna try to get this stuff bent away just so whenever it fires up, these pulleys don't get rubbed on the cage and damage them. And we'll get it wheeled on over to where it's gonna sit. Cool trick if you guys didn't know. You're using Allen keys. You take one of these crescent wrenches and open it up to where you have that little hole. Slide that in. And makes it a little easier. All right, everybody, so we got this stuff hooked up. Everything is hooked up except for this auxiliary tank. So I need to get some different fittings and a gauge, and then we can have I'll get these two hooked up. But the dryer is on, all these are hooked up, these other two dryers. We got our reel hooked up and the pump kicks on and everything. Call it a night for tonight. So we got the compressors upgraded, or compressor upgraded, auxiliary tank dryer, two other dryers, and hopefully, and a hose reel. So hopefully that does it for this, and we'll be able to go ahead and paint and sandblast and stuff. Just a couple other little things to get knocked out on here. I think what we're gonna do is make this toolbox air fittings, air tools, tool oil, that kind of stuff all over here. May put a cabinet up in here if I can find a nice one that I like for paint stuff, and we'll put a light inside of it and over here so that we can have all of our paint and bodywork stuff all over here. Also, probably what will be down in these drawers, more bodywork stuff. We're gonna go ahead and move this blast cabinet to the side so it will sit here so that we can finally start blasting a little bit. This did work good when we first got it. The only thing is that it felt like it was getting moisture in it and clogging up, and we didn't have enough air. So hopefully that our problem's solved with that. And if it works really good. Maybe we'll do some of the upgrades that you can see online. I've seen a lot of videos about putting like a dust deputy and all kinds of different stuff on there so that we can blast really efficiently and have it all right here next to the air compressor so we can get this stuff cleaned up too. So it's late, like real late, probably close after 2, I think, in the morning here. So I'm gonna go in, get cleaned up, and try to get some rest. I'm gonna go ahead and I think we're probably gonna call it a video, the video here. So I want to thank you all so much for all the love and support. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave your comments below, like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, I know I'm not wearing it because I'm trying not to ruin it, but I have one of my hats out here. Don't forget, check out the website, pick yourself up a hat, notebook. I'm working on trying to get some other merch out there. So keep checking back, looking for that. Leave comments on what you guys would like to see for merch, and we will see you next time. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one. Have a happy 4th if you don't see me on the 4th.